got the glutes, I got the calves, I got the abs. I got the glutes, I got the calves, I got the abs. It's time to get lit, it's time to get fit. Let's meal prep and get it in, get it in. Get lit, transformation, freedom, and innermost heaven. Let's hit the gym and get fit, get fit. Get lit,
Well, hello. It is Tina with Enriched by Tina here to help you get your whole life together. As you see, I am a location change. I am traveling, and so you're seeing me. Y'all are seeing me on the replay. So stay that way. It's because you in the screen. But it's okay. I'm improvising, doing what you got to do to bring this here for you. So we are still on our series of making better choices, and we are um, on our last leg on the fourth week of doing better choices, and then we'll see whichever way the Lord is leading us after we get through with this four. This was a 4 week session that we were doing in making better choices, and so this is day 2 of week 4. And hold on, because I'm trying to get my notes. Give me a minute. I'm having to improvise of my setup. I have a different setup when I'm at home, and so give me a quick minute here. All right, so we're walking in God's best. That's this last week of better choices. So let's do a recap. So you say, well, where have we got? So we'll know where we've been and what we've been doing. So we started out with the power of choice, and then we went from the power of choice to choices in daily life. Then last week was the week, y'all. I think that was the week that broke me. It really made me find out what God was really doing in my life. I hope it was a blessing to you. So it was temptations and distractions, and boy, that week did I get tempted, did I get distracted. I don't know about you. So if you found yourself being distracted last week, put some fire in the chat. Like if the third week you found yourself, or you finding yourself this week being distracted and tempted, so you're not able to make those better choices, better living, and the power of the choice, because God gives us free will, so he's not going to force anything on us. He's a gentleman. So when we start thinking about making a better choice and overcoming the distractions and the temptations, and then we're going to walk in God's best, it brings us to today's message where we're hearing God's voice clearly. So listen, you're probably saying, what in the world? Yes, we want to hear him clearly. So we have to ask him. We have to invite him in order for us to hear him. So if you're ready to start inviting God in, and you want to hear God's voice clearly, I want you to say me, Top Flight. Put it in the chat. I want to see that this is something. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right people this morning. And I want you to say me. So I'm gonna give you a minute to meditate on it, because hearing God's voice is going to take a commitment out of you. So let's see what Isaiah is saying. I have to get my notes and pull my notes up. So Isaiah, I'm going in the Children's Bible. We're not changing nothing because it works. So Isaiah 30:21 says, if you go the wrong way, to the right or to the left of you, you will hear a voice behind you, and it will say, this is the right way. So if we're wanting to hear God's voice, and when God is telling you to do what's right and do what's wrong, and so I got to go over to the Gen Z Bible, and it says it like this: you totally hear a voice behind you saying, like, dude, or like, chick, this is the way. Just go for it when you're deciding to go right or left. So listen, chick, dude, because sometimes fellas are listening, or sometimes the new thing is bruh. Listen, you know which way to go. You know when you hear that small, still voice telling you this is not, do not respond, do not say nothing, do not do these types of things that we find ourselves uh, going in and out of the will of the Lord. So when you say, if I'm going to hear God's voice, the first thing is God's voice brings you clarity, not confusion. So you say, whoa, that was deep right there, wasn't it? That was a good one. Y'all go ahead and give me some fire in the chat if you know that was good right there. So if you find yourself in confusion, guess what? It's not of God, because God gives you clarity and not confusion. So if you're unsure about what you have going on or which way to go or which voice to listen to, because there are other voices, and when you have to think about if it is this, is it leading you to peace? Because God's word and his presence give you peace and not pressure. So, ooh, you're like, wow, yes. So if you find yourself with a lot of pressure and you're not finding peace in it, and you're confused and you're not clarity, then you're not listening to the voice of God. So you have to think about this, because the next thing I want to say to you is his guidance is personal. It's personal and it's present. So God doesn't lead you from afar. He's up close and personal. And so this way, you're not guessing, you're not wondering, is this, should I, would I, could I? Yeah, I remember I talked about Sam I am. Would you, could you, in a boat? Sam I am didn't know he was going to like that green eggs and ham. I told y'all. So listen, he's guiding you, he's leading you. There's no guesswork. So if who wouldn't serve a God that doesn't give, that takes out the guesswork? So listen, I want you to think, I want you to pause for a minute. And I want you to ask this question. When I'm getting ready to do this or that, do I have clarity? Do I have his peace? Or am I in confusion? And do I have the pressure? Think about it. Is there a time, what's a situation where you was confused and you weren't getting clarity? Put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Because I know for me, and I can only speak and I can only talk from my experiences. Um, and because if somebody give me their experience, I'm a safe space, so I'm not gonna put your business out there. So I'm gonna put mine out there. I was faced with a situation recently where I had to choose peace over frustration, and I had to use self control, which is shout out to Teresa that taught our class last night. Last night, she taught our class about uh, we're working on fruits of the spirit, and she was giving us like what strategies are you using to make sure that you're using and you're following in the fruits of the spirit. And so I had to use a strategy, y'all. I had to choose peace over frustration, because if I'm going to walk in God's word and I'm going to live by this word and I want to hear his voice and I want to hear his voice clearly, I can't get out of character. Now, do I get upset? Do I get mad? Of course. I'm not saying I have yet arrived, but in that particular situation, I had to use some self control and I had to choose peace over frustration. So the character that God is building in me would not be um, misinterpreted, right? So sometimes every move that we make, we have to be careful. And so the fact that I come on here at 5:45 in the morning and I'm bringing you morning inspiration and giving you the will of the Lord and the word of the Lord, you best believe I'm being tried in the fire. So as Mother Monroe would say, and speaking of Mother Monroe, y'all need to come on and sign up for the Season Women Conference. It's August the 16th. Mother Monroe will be our guest speaker, and then we have Teresa Lindsay. She'll be our guest psalmist, and then we have some breakout sessions. And if you're interested in being a vendor, hit me up in the inbox, and I will give you the information. It's $75 to be a vendor if you're not a member of our church, and if you a member, you get a discount for being a member of C3. So if you know that you want to be a vendor, or you know someone else that might want to be a vendor, tell them to hit me up in my inbox and say, hey, I want to vend. Give me some information about it, and I will direct you right in there. So this is going to be a great, great conference. You don't want to miss it. So y'all sign up, get the early bird. It's $40 before July 30th. And guess what? I know July just came in. It's going to be the 30th before you know it. So back to here. So when we start thinking about what God is telling us to do, obedience keeps us on the right path. And you say, wait a minute, obedience. Yeah, when you hear the word, I always say obedience is better than sacrifice. So sometimes you have to take the low road and just obey God, even if you don't understand it. And so it's not just about hearing God's voice, but it's about responding. You know, when he leads you and he guides you, your response is better. And like I said, I had to choose the low road, and I had to choose peace over frustration, that I did not respond in a way that was contrary to God's to my character and to what God is doing for me. So I know he's doing a work in me. You ought to see he's doing a new thing in you. And if you have been being blessed by since I've been going live and these morning inspirations, um, let me know. Put it in the chat that you have been blessed, and what are some things that you are trying to do better as a result of it. Because I've given you a lot of assignments. I give you each day. I give you a life application, and so if we're going to walk in God's presence, and we're going to make a better choice, and we're going to be in the right standing with God, we have to fall into that obedience. And sometimes obedience doesn't look nice. It doesn't look pretty, and it's not something that we um that you get glamorous. Like nobody's gonna shout out, "Hey, shout out Tina, she was obedient." No, it's not. Nobody's gonna have a party about it. So you have to want to walk and know that even in the event, if you don't get the claps, you don't get the whatever, it's okay, because it's better to obey God than obedience is better than sacrifice. So you can sacrifice a lot of things, you can do a lot of things, you can hope in a lot of things, but if you don't stand on his word and you don't obey him, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So that's all I have for you today. So I'm gonna give you a life application, and I want you to set aside 5 minutes each morning to pray this prayer. God, help me hear your voice above all others today. Show me the way, and I will walk in it. And then I want you to write down anything, any impressions, anything that in your time, in your quiet time, in that 5 minutes. It don't take God all day to talk to you now, but give him a 5 dedicated minutes. And then I want to say it was Mother Nash. She challenged us to like start out with 5 minutes, then keep adding and keep increasing until you have then your time with God has increased. But start with 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and then ask Him, get some scriptures, and then ask Him to give you uh, the words and the stuff to do throughout the day to help keep you focused, to help keep you walking in his obedience. And so if you're going to try this, if you even going to attempt to do this, I want you to put, I hear you, Lord. And so this is the thing I want you to declare. And somebody put this in the chat for me. I won't move without his voice. I'm walking in the way he's shown. I'm going to say it again. I won't walk without his voice. I'm walking in his way. He's shown me. So listen, let's be spirit led. Let's walk in the divine purpose of God and let's see what God has for us. Because when we fall prey to the enemy and we don't do what God has called us, then we have to go all the way back. So I don't know about you. I'm tired of repeating stuff. I don't want to keep repeating. So I'm going to obey the first time. Because, delayed disobedience, if you delay following God, it's still disobedience. So let's do it the first time so we don't have to do it over. And so we can get clarity and that we can hear God's voice clearly. So I'll see y'all on Monday morning. I'll be back from traveling. I'll be back live. So thank y'all. Put some fire in the chat that you're gonna begin to do what God is telling you. You're gonna obey the first time. So see you. Take care.
Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you need.